Before we get into the video, I want to talk to you guys about the OneFootball app, because for me it's the best football app there is on the planet. It's great for team news, transfer news, player statistics, league tables, all of that good stuff. So you can use the link in the description down below to get the app for free. And it's actually now even better than ever, because now you have full Serie A coverage once again for free. So that's league tables, but more importantly, game highlights. And also, once every game week, you can watch a match live, literally for free. Zero cost. The next one will be on the 1st of October after the international break, and it will be Empoli at home to AC Milan. A game that I'm really looking forward to watching, and you guys should be too. If you are interested, make sure to use the link in the description down below. I really do highly recommend it. Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Announcer channel, and welcome to a brand new series, which for now is just going to be called Scouting for United. But if you have any other ideas for names, then let me know in the comments section down below. But the aim of this series is for the next 10 months or so to go over a load of different players and scout them from their ability level, their attitude off the pitch, their injury record, tactical fit in the team, their price tag, things like that, before giving them a rating on whether or not Manchester United should sign them. And the aim is that by next August, I can tell you guys United should sign these 4 or 5 players to improve the club next summer. And as you can see, we are starting off with Jude Bellingham. Now, Jude Bellingham is one of the best young players in the world in my opinion, and actually just one of the best midfielders in the world. We can kind of take out that word young. Now, he's still only 19 years old. I've been following him since he was about 16, playing for Birmingham City, watched several of his games in the Championship, and even at that age, his talent was clear. The Championship is a very physical, tough league to adapt to. Bellingham at 16 years old was bossing a lot of games and winning a lot of his duels against full-grown men at 16 years old, so already that gives you an indicator. Like I said, he's 19 years old, recently turned 19 in the summer, currently playing for England, although he doesn't play for them too regularly, although he is in the most recent squad. Hopefully he plays this week, and hopefully he plays a big part at the World Cup, assuming he can avoid injury. But, time to talk about him as a player. That's kind of his profile done. What does he bring on the football pitch? Well, first off, he brings a lot of quality, but secondly, he brings a lot of work rate. And we can see in his heat map here that 1, he is versatile in the sense that he can play a few different positions, but 2, he is hard-working and covers pretty much every blade of grass over the course of 90 minutes. And I weren't too sure how to go about doing this series, but I've decided to go for quite a relaxed approach where I'm just going to talk through things, and I want to hear from you guys in the comments as much as possible. So let me know what you think of things like his heat map. What does it kind of show to you? What message do you get from that? Do you like this shape of this heat map? Do you like these denser areas? Let me know your thoughts, let me know what you think. This is all about your guys' opinions on these players. Personally, I quite like the look of it, because it's showing that he can cover a lot of ground. And this work rate and ability to get about the pitch has led to comparisons to Steven Gerrard. And I can see why, really. And that's a big, big compliment, of course. In terms of if we look into kind of some of the stats of Jude Bellingham as a player, we can just get his basic FPRef report here. And we're seeing a lot of dense green bars, which is of course what we are looking for. And particularly in the attacking department, he's ranking very well in terms of expected goals assisted, his assists, his shots in total, his non-penalty expected goals, his non-penalty goals, his shot creating actions, non-penalty expected goals and expected assists. He's ranking really well in those metrics, as well as progressive carries, dribbles completed, touches in the attacking penalty area, and progressive passes received. Which kind of shows, let me get the tactic board up here, which might take me a second. Kind of shows that despite often starting in a double pivot for Borussia Dortmund, he likes to push a lot higher, and he does get a lot of touches in and around the opposition's penalty area. And in a positional sense, he's kind of similar to Ryan Gravenberch with Ajax last season, in the sense that he does start in a double pivot, but he's given a lot of freedom to push much higher forward, and that is because he's just that good on the ball that they trust him in those areas. Hence the high amount of touches in the attacking penalty area. So if Manchester United were to sign him, then they would be getting someone that's going to get forward, get in the box. He also progresses the ball well, particularly with his carries, although his passing is something I think could do with a bit of work. In terms of passes attempted, he only ranks in the 56th percentile, and it's the same for pass completion as well, whilst ranking in the 74th for progressive passes. So whilst he's a very well-rounded player, I do think that his passing needs work, and especially his long passing as well, but more so that ability to play the ball in between the lines. Now, if you've been watching Dortmund early on in the season, I would say he is getting better at that already, but I think that's something that needs work, but of course he's 19 years old. Most players haven't even broken onto the first team yet, so it's fine that he's got his weaknesses. I am just going to quickly interrupt because we do have another sponsor for today's video, and that is jerseyfifa.com. the website you need to head to right away to get yourself the latest and greatest football shirts, all at an extremely affordable price. The link will be in the description below, so head there right away to get yourself a great shirt, again at a great price. Now back to the video. We can also break his FBref report down a bit further, and I think what this really highlights is that he's better higher up the pitch. Now, don't get me wrong, he does a lot of work defensively, and we do see systems where he plays deeper. But I think what we're seeing is that he likes to get further forward up the pitch. In terms of shot leading actions, we can see here ranking in the 98th and the 97th, down here in the 95th. He is getting the ball forward and creating chances. Goal creating actions in 97th percentile. Again, those touches in the penalty area 97th, dribbles completed, players dribbled past 97th, carries into the penalty area 96th, progressive passes received 96th, assists 95th. He likes to get forward, that's where he's at his best. So he may start as a double pivot player, but he wants to get forward and really affect the play up here. And that works for Borussia Dortmund because they do dominate the ball in most matches. They do tend to play reasonably attacking football, which means that Bellingham does have this freedom. And if he was to move into Manchester United, let's say in place of Eriksen for example, again he probably would be given that license to get forward. So that's not an issue that his strengths are in that area. Although I'll come back to that later. Something else we can see is passes under pressure is high, which I think is very important because one thing that we see from a lot of players when they move from abroad into the Premier League is that they can't deal with the intensity but also just the pressure they get put under. We can see that Bellingham is used to that. One, he done it in the Championship, but also he's continued it in the Bundesliga. So I'm confident that Bellingham would adjust to the intensity and the pressure in the Premier League reasonably effortlessly. So if Manchester United were to sign him, physically he is more than capable of playing for Manchester United in the midfield. But I just kind of want to keep breaking it down. If we look at his stats from so far this season, we can see that he's getting 1.7 interceptions per game, as well as 2.9 tackles won, and he's winning the possession once a game, and not getting dribbled past too often, whilst also contributing with the clearances 1.3 per 90. And I think they're decent stats. So whilst he is better off going forward, he does go the other way as well, and he will contribute something defensively. We see it for Borussia Dortmund, and in fact there have been games where he has played as more of a holder. We've seen him partnered alongside a more attacking midfielder, and we do see the odd game where Bellingham is trusted to sit slightly deeper. In terms of off the ball, he doesn't seem to venture too far from here. Yes, he will press high up the pitch, but we don't really see him covering the channels. It's more about intelligence in the middle of the pitch, cutting passing lanes in between the lines, things like that. Continuing with the stats, we can see successful dribbles here, 3 per game, about 62%. He's winning 10.4 duels, ground duels 8.9, which is only 58%. I would like to see that number go up a bit more with his pure size. I think he should be winning a few more of them. But thanks to his size, he is winning 85% of his aerial duels, which again I think is something that Manchester United need. We know that they've got quite a small team, particularly on the left-hand side of the pitch. If we go to the tactics board here and look at the starting 11, Lisandro Martinez and Malacia are both quite short on his left-hand side, not the best in the air. So having someone like Jude Bellingham could be quite useful, as opposed to Eriksen, who, he's not short, but he's not exactly an aerial threat. So Bellingham could be a solution to this kind of problem that United might face, so in that respect he could be a good signing. My concerns, more than anything, come over where does he quite fit into the side? Because if we look at the current Manchester United team, I think a lot of people would agree that one of the most important players at the moment is Christian Eriksen. Now, Bellingham is a very versatile player, but there's 3 positions he could play here. One is as an attacking midfielder. I don't see that happening, not for Bruno Fernandes. It's not the wrong type of player. So then the choices are Christian Eriksen's role or McTominay's. So McTominay's role is a ball-winning midfielder, doesn't really get too involved in possession, is more there to sweep up behind the team, kind of sit deep in possession, break up the play, keep things quite simple. That's not Bellingham. We've seen that Bellingham wants to get further forward, and if anything, Casemiro is going to take that role from McTominay. So that leaves us with Christian Eriksen, who is a very progressive passer. Now think back to what I was saying about Bellingham a minute ago, not a progressive passer. So in terms of does he naturally transition and fit into this Manchester United team, I'm not too sure. I think if he was to, there would have to be a change in the system. And that is just what makes me hesitate on the signing a little bit. Now, like I said, I've followed this guy since he was at Birmingham. I'm a massive fan of him. And he's one of the best players in the world. One of the best midfielders in the world, I should say, sorry. Really wonderful talent. And he is going to dominate football for the next decade as long as he gets luck with injuries. He really is that good. But Just because a player is a very good footballer, it doesn't necessarily mean they are right for this club or that club. Now, do Manchester United need the skill set of a box-to-box midfielder right now? Now, again, that's not a rhetorical question. Feel free to get in the comments down below and let me know what you think. I don't think he replaces McTominay. I think he's the wrong type of midfielder. I think Casemiro's got that covered. Is he the right style of footballer to replace Eriksen? In the current system, probably not, because we see Eriksen often dropping deep and then he's progressing the ball from here with his passing and really controlling the game. That isn't quite what Bellingham likes to do. However, perhaps we could see a tactical switch from Erik ten Hag. We could see the fullbacks playing more reserved than what they are right now. Bellingham being given the licence to go forward, whilst one of the fullbacks comes inside and plays alongside McTominay. That is something that is very, very possible. We saw it at Ajax last season, where Mazraoui would tuck in alongside Edson Alvarez. Ryan Gravenberch was given the licence to get forward. So we could see something like that. So I'm going to do a rating at the end of the video in terms of tactical fit, and Bellingham's isn't going to be that high. But the important thing to remember is Ten Hag is very adaptable, so he could make something work. In terms of right now, the current system, I don't think he is quite what United need. I think they need more that deep-lying playmaker. Bellingham isn't really that. He's a lot of great things. Deep-lying playmaker, unfortunately, isn't one of them. And I think that does hinder his chances of a move to Manchester United. Because I just don't think he quite has the skill set of a proper ball player, a proper dictator of a game. Now, he will dictate the play because of his physicality, his pure size, but if we just go back to his FBref report, this one here. Passes attempted, pass completion, both quite low, and then progressive passes, not that high. That's why I wonder, can he play that role of a deep line playmaker where you drop in from the left-hand side into the hole and then progress the ball? I'm not quite sure he ticks that box, and I don't think he's a McTominay replacement because stylistically they're very different. So this is my concern over Jude Bellingham. Now, any other time I would have said yes, go sign him, because I think he is a player that you build a team around because he's that good. He really is good. But I'm just not quite sure how Ten Hag is trying to play at Manchester United at the moment. I'm not sure that poor old Jude Bellingham is actually the best option. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Because this one I'm really stuck on, because he is so good. He is so good at football, and something else that he's kind of got on his side is his mentality. Got some quotes here. I have never seen a mentality more elite than his. That was Jude Bellingham's youth coach. He's smart, his weight of pass is good, his greatest attribute is his mentality. He loves football, he cares, got big shoulders, he's the perfect midfield player. Jude Bellingham's mentality is exceptional for such a young man. And then we've even got the comments and the videos we've seen of him shouting at players, his teammates on the pitch, when they're not doing things. That shows that he's got a good mentality. He's demanding a high standard of his teammates, even those that are more experienced than him, and arguably have more power in the dressing room. Bellingham isn't afraid to have his say, and I think that's a very good thing for a young player to have. He isn't intimidated by that presence of his teammates. And clearly his mentality is very good. He's often been tipped to be a future captain for his club and even country. Everything is there. Even his injury record, which is important. Manchester United struggle a lot with injury. So his injury record is very good. He's missed 3 games over the past few seasons since moving to Dortmund. And that's just from 2 injuries. An 11-day injury and a 6-day injury. Now, touch wood, that stays the same. That's a very good injury record. It all adds up quite nicely. He's a really good player. Everything is there. You've got the mentality is right. The injury record is good. He's got a very good skill set. Very well-rounded. Great at getting the ball forward, particularly with his carries, driving through the pitch, Yaya Toure or Steven Gerrard-esque. Is he what Manchester United need? Especially when the talk is it's going to cost £105 million. And actually, I made this on the 21st, the morning of the 21st. By lunchtime this day, the price has gone up to £130 million. So, the price is constantly going up. I think he is worth that money if he is right for the system, because he really is a special player. He is going to dominate football for a long time. He is Steven Gerrard-esque. The question is he actually what Manchester United need? Now, that's probably something that United haven't considered too much in the past. The likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic or Falcao or Angel Di Maria. Players like that. Players who are big names. We know they're good footballers. Bought to the club. Donny van de Beek is actually a really good example. Paul Pogba, bought to the club, but then are they actually the right fit for what the team needs? A lot of them, it turned out they weren't, and it ended up being a waste of money. Yes, they were a very talented player, but they didn't fit into the team. I just worry about that a little bit with Bellingham. That's where I really, guys, please get in the comments down below and let me know what you think. I think in terms of if it is a straight swap for Eriksen and the system stays the same, I don't think he is what United need, because I don't think there is enough ball progression in terms of passing from here. However, like I said, Ten Hag is adaptable, and we could see a change of system, something like this, where Dalot and Lisandro Martinez are progressing from deep, the wingers are holding the width, Malacia and McTominay are trying to progress the ball, especially Malacia, and Casemiro if he was to come into the team. Suddenly that looks a lot better. Suddenly Bellingham is in a much more natural position. He can really use that size, that drive in the midfield to push forward with the ball, carry the ball forward, going past players, and then he does offer a bit of creativity in the final third to break teams down. And also what we saw more during his Birmingham days was an ability to arrive late in the box to score goals, a bit like Frank Lampard. Everything is there. He is such a good player. The question is it quite the right signing for Manchester United? Like I said, my overall opinion on it is wonderful footballer, great attitude. We'll come on to this in a second. Good injury record. The fee I don't care about because I think he's that good at it. It doesn't matter. The question is the tactical setup. The current system, I don't think he fits. However, I think Ten Hag is a very adaptable manager. So let's go through those 4 categories and rank them on like A, B, C, D, E, F, or a U, with A of course being the top. In terms of ability, Jude Bellingham is an A, without doubt. One of the best midfielders on the planet, not just young midfielders, just one of the best midfielders. Really well rounded. In terms of tactical fit in the current setup, I think it's a C, because I think there has to be adaptations to get him into the team. Now, that might be the case with a lot of players, that might not be a problem, but I just mean literally in terms of directly replacing Eriksen. Right now it wouldn't quite work, there would need to be a slight change. Attitude, it's an A, I like that he gets onto his teammates and is really setting a standard. Fee is going to be a B because £130 million is a lot of money, but he's a really good footballer. This man is a really good footballer. So in terms of my overall rating, do I think Manchester United should sign him? Again, it's going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, U, with A being the highest. I'm going to go overall, Jude Bellingham gets a B in my opinion, which means I think Manchester United should really consider this move. He should be high on the shortlist of players that they're looking to bring in for the midfield. Bellingham should be right up there. The price isn't an issue because he is so good at football. He is so good at football. And the potential that this guy has is immense. He's probably England's best midfielder already, and he's 19 years old. And he only just turned 19 a few months ago. The potential and the talent that this guy has is scary. Really scary. So I think United should be considering it. However, it wouldn't be a seamless fit in terms of tactics. If United want to play, hang on, let me find it again. If United want to play with this system, then it goes up to an A, instantly. But if they want them to play slightly deeper, then it's a B. If they want to play here, in a Gravenberch-esque role like what we saw from Ajax last season, then absolutely Manchester United should make this move happen. He's a wonderful footballer. And that's all I want to say on the matter. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How good do you think Jude Bellingham is? And actually, let's rank him on all the things that I've ranked him on. And rank him in terms of ability, in terms of tactical fit, in terms of attitude, and the price tag. But also take into consideration things like his injury record, stuff like that. Really good footballer, very special. If he doesn't move to United, he's going to get a big move somewhere. I would like to see at United as long as Ten Hag is willing to change the tactics slightly. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Wait, before you go, let me know the next player you'd like to see. Who is the next player you would like to see in this series? Thank you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.